Thank you for watching this edition of The Unpopular Review. If you like what you're watching, please subscribe to us on our social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at UPRE YEPILW. Also, while you're at it, subscribe to our friends at Yep I Like Wrestling on the same social medias at YEPILW. Yep.
Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever your time you're listening to us, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Unpopular Review Entertainment. Today, we are reviewing the next saga in the DCEU, and that will be Suicide Squad. And let's go ahead and bring in our co-host for this evening in whatever order we have them in. Mr. Wayne C. Disappear, as well as the Mark Victor Rodriguez.
Hello, everyone.
Mayora, it's good for you to be back. I don't know how you escaped. You were supposed to be out for another week or so.
Just getting my teeth. I made it.
Yeah.
I fought my way through.
Welcome back from the Phantom Zone.
Thank you.
So you're going to tell us about the covert mission that you were on, or is it still top secret?
Well, it's still top secret at the moment. I haven't got clearance, to make it public. So I'm just going to keep it under wraps for now.
I need to know basis. I got it. All right, so should we jump into the synopsis, or what's going on?
Sure.
Please.
All right, let's do the synopsis. Following the death of Superman, Amanda Waller seizes upon the opportunity to once again put together a team loyal to and who will report to her. Believing those with extraordinary abilities can be useful to the U.S. government covert operations, Waller convinces the Joint Chiefs, to authorize Task Force X. Keeping them in line are bombs and a heartbeat, and everything goes as expected until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is the third movie in the DCEU saga, Suicide Squad ensemble cast. I was very excited for this movie when I saw the trailer come out almost a year before this movie came out, but I was very excited because this is a group of people and characters that you would think would be very, very excited. That being said, let's segue. What's going on, Ricky? I have missed you, Chrissy. Welcome back. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Ricky posted another comment. I don't know if everybody can see it. He said, "Chrissy, can you put the lotion in the basket?" His latest comment.
Don't talk about Ricky.
I don't know.
He was robbed during the promo about it. He was robbed.
I actually just addressed this on Facebook a couple minutes ago before the show started about that, and still declared Ricky the loser. But he did a good job. All right, so
blasphemy. I got your back, Ricky. But back to the Suicide Squad.
No, by all means, you and Ricky talk. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hold on, Chris. Can I cut? Can somebody cut the what? No. I know y'all didn't hear it. I heard it. I just wanted you to know. I heard you, James.
What?
Cut the what?
What?
No, I said, by all means, Chrissy, talk to Rick. What did you say? What are you talking about?
Okay. All right. Cool. Luckily, I can.
He's delirious. He's
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into our first segment of the night, which is going to be "It Was the Best of Scenes." It was the worst scenes. We're going to go around and we're going to talk about our favorite scenes. Yeah. Okay, Ricky. And then we're going to go back around and talk about our least favorite scenes. And we're going to start off with. I'll start off because I'm up top. So let's go ahead and can you believe I'm not prepared? I don't know what my favorite scene was. I have to go.
You need a minute?
You can go next.
No. Yeah, let me go next because I'm teetering between two. I mean, it's not like I don't have any, but But go ahead.
All right. Let me just jump down. I'm gonna just speak them off. So I love Harley hiding the shank. That sequence when we see her spitting up the shank that she was hiding and then hiding in her hair to take out the guards. It shows that she had a forethought. I love how Deadshot advanced, and when they first got to Midway City, and he was taking out all those people. He didn't know they were people, but he was taking out all the enemy. I love the Eighth Chemical sequence. How Harley gave a psychological breakdown of people. By the way, I saw the extended cut, so if you don't know the scenes that I'm talking about, for those watching at home, it's the extended cut. The building sequence, the Ostrander building sequence, Amanda killing her staff, she did it without hesitation. That was a bad move. The rooftop shootout later on in that sequence. I love Chato or El Diablo's backstory. When Rick Flag comes into the bar and they're all drinking, and then he destroys the little trigger release for the bombs, and he says, "Forget it, it's broken. You can leave." And Boomerang gets up. He doesn't say bye to anybody. No questions. He's gone. That was hilarious to me. I love how we see Chato's transformation into basically what people might have called a demigod or something like that. I don't know the exact name. It goes beyond metahuman. I thought that was great. And I love the illusions that we see or the wish fulfillment that Enchantress gave to the different people. Because this movie, we get to really see who, for some of them at least, who they are as people. And when you see the illusions and their heart's desire, we see how simple these people really are, what their desires beyond everything else that they do. It's very telling, and I like that as far as storytelling.
All right. I'm glad you found so many scenes you like.
He did, didn't he? Actually, he mentioned one of the scenes that I was tinkering with picking, and that was when Amanda Waller decided to kill her staff. It was very cold. Very cold. And the funny thing is they dropped so many hints when Amanda Waller said, the person you're saying is the only person you can't kill. And for some reason, it still wasn't clicking in my head. And of course, it had to be her. They were saving. So after all of that, and after her team stuck with her, even though they were all trying to kill her, she murdered them all and had no hesitation, no remorse, no blinking of an eye. Just, hey, they weren't clear for this. Don't know what to tell you. So that was cold. But my favorite scene actually, and it's going to be a least popular one, I know, because I always argue with people about this. It was a scene with the Joker where he was going to bribe one of the guards so he can get a crack at saving Harley. And they were in, I guess he was with his bookie in a fish market. And the Joker came in from behind after a dude was talking a lot of Waka Flocka. A lot of Waka Flocka. And then when he realized the Joker was there, his mood totally changed. And I thought that, as much as Jared Leto was not a popular Joker, I'll say, I thought any scene kind of embodiment what the Joker really is, that was it. He comes in and you know what? He's a clown, but there's no foolishness going on when it comes to him. So I really did like that scene. I watch that scene constantly when I watch this movie because it's really a good scene. It actually led to one of my favorite quotes that I still say today. And that's actually, exactly, that hit. And I'm letting you know, that's a spoiler alert. Favorite quote? I love that. I love that because it's so real in life, man. Okay, especially in the promo battle. So, just keep that in mind. And that's definitely my favorite scene.
Who was that last comment towards, Chris? Who was that last comment towards?
Well, Chrissy, because she over here picking wrong winners.
Oh.
What? I picked the right winner. I don't know who you guys are talking about. Dylan did a wonderful job, but yeah, Ricky had it.
Go ahead.
But does anybody know about as far as Jared Leto and the Joker and his performance? Was he trying to make his voice like that Jack Nicholson Joker voice?
Probably. I think
I heard it. I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like he was trying to mirror that sound, his sound voice, his way of speech.
I didn't get the Jack Nicholson influence. I never heard that in his inflection.
I really, really like that.
Yeah.
Okay, is this the redemption of Jared Leto Joker? Because he's been getting a lot of praise. So
I never said that I disliked him. I actually agree with Chris when he said it. He said, and that might be my quote. He's a clown, but there's no foolishness with him, because he's very, very calculated. And to me, that is the Joker I like. And you brought up Jack Nicholson. Even in his portrayal, he seemingly outwardly is goofing around, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He's already had a plan. It's a forethought plan, and he executes it. And what makes it so great is you don't know which way he's going, And that scene that Chris is talking about, when he slaps the guy's shoulders, his number one already told him, I would keep my mouth shut.
So you might want to keep your mouth shut.
Listen, you're lucky I need you right now. And then he puts his ring out right? His ring finger out and has the man kiss it. Now, number one, between two men, he basically made that man get on all fours. Now, and he made himself the alpha. He was already the alpha, but he said, "Now I'm your personal alpha. You will serve me." And then when he kissed his ring, he sat on his lap, but in no way was he like taking the what is it the word escapes me, but he wasn't taking the lesser role. He sat on his lap, meaning I'm taking your personal space, I'm taking your dignity, you know what I mean? And here's what I want you to do, and you're going to do it. And it was a very almost backwards, reverse way that you would normally see a scene like that with someone who the movie portrays him as a gangster. So I like that he did it the reverse, because the Joker, you always have to expect the unexpected. So I do like what Jared Leto did with his performance.
All right. So Vic, what would be your favorite scene of the whole movie?
Well, there were a lot of scenes, honestly, but my favorite scene, the one that kind of made me like a little hype for Deadshot, was when all the monsters, when they were doing that you know, when they were first working as a team and they were killing all those rock face monsters, and then the army guy said to him, "You couldn't run, I'll kill you." He jumped on the car, pom, 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 shuts the whole thing down, kills everybody. Everybody's just looking there staring at him. And then he comes back and he's like, "That's how I couldn't run."
Mm-hmm.
What? I was like, yeah, baby. I popped right there in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, and that was cool. That was cool. Like, I was happy to see that. The other part that I really, really liked was when Harley Quinn did that. But
What?
I used to like Birds of Prey. Now I understand.
We welcome you.
Now I understand.
So is this a reverse of a thumbs up?
Yeah,
Are we going thumbs? What?
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
It's too late.
This is like your very first thumbs down.
I mean, it is too late. I agree.
Right. If the man thinks that Muhammad Ali wants to change his name to
yes. Yeah. Oh, he brought back the coming to America.
But
I think this is Vic's
you can change your thumbs up for Birds of Prey to thumbs down if you want to.
Oh man.
Give it the thumbs down it deserves, Vic. Join the dark side.
Man, I wish I would have seen this movie first. Honestly, I will say that, because wow, the difference is real. Yeah, I mean, you know, she does in that movie, she does some nice stuff, but in this movie, wow, she's just amazing.
And it looks like she could carry it herself.
Yeah.
She literally is. No, you know what the crazy thing about her, what I really like about her is that, just like the Joker, just how you were just explaining the Joker, he is the exact same way. Yep. And the one thing that they show about her is the psychologist in her, because she's literally running around just like trying to figure out ways to manipulate everybody. But the one person that shuts us down is El Diablo. Mm-hmm. Comes to him, puts her arm around him. He already knows what she's doing. She's being a Marilyn, and he's just like, no. Mm-hmm. See in her face, she's pissed because none of her stuff could work, because she knows she's beautiful and she uses that. But then this is how she gets information. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then she knows how to, like, man, she's just like a manipulative master, and she's the amount of skills that she has is amazing. And like, yeah, in the next movie, no, I don't see a point of that movie.
Can I say something controversial to what you just said?
Yeah.
What's that?
What we see of Harley Quinn and how you just said how she psychologically breaks down people one after the other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And she's doing that the whole movie. She does it with the guard at Belle Reve, right? If you noticed, okay. She did that better than Black Widow in countless movies. Now, that's my opinion. I know there's going to be somebody out there that doesn't like it, but we never see Black Widow. And again, I know Marvel, Maybe in the next movie or the one after that in Marvel Phase 17, we'll get to see it. But the closest we get to Black Widow doing that is when she spoke to Loki.
I'll tell you one thing. Hulk wouldn't have bounced on Harley Quinn.
Say that
He wouldn't have bounced on
Bruce
it. Hulk wouldn't have bounced on Harley Quinn. Like Harley Quinn would have done some crazy to keep him around.
Yeah.
Like, Hulk wouldn't have left her, so I'll give you that. I see what you mean.
He would have killed her because she would have drove him crazy.
No, but she would have found his weakness real quick. She's amazing. Like, and you know, and the crazy thing about that whole thing is that it makes you wonder, like, this woman that is so powerful, how is it that the Joker is able to just have her under his control? How is it that he's the one person, like, she literally just tried to get in his head, she falls in love with him, and now is willing to do anything.
Well, because remember, in the Ace Chemical, and this is leading to one of my quotes, in the Ace Chemical sequence, he said, "Will you live for me?" Right? And she says, "Yes," without question. He says, "Slow down. Think about what you're saying," right? And he goes, "Desire becomes surrender."
Oh, damn. Okay, I gotta get rid of that.
So she's in love with him.
Oops.
And he knows that. Remember, he tells her, you don't love somebody. You don't love me. I'm an idea. I'm a thesis, right? That's what I'm about. I'm never going to give you my heart. It's never going to be that reciprocal. That's why her fantasy is, or her wish fulfillment is, that he loves her and it's reciprocal. But he can never be that to her. And she longs to try and get him to be that for her. And he can't. And that's the tragic love story. That is mad love, if anybody knows the comics, you know. And he uses that to manipulate her. But I say the villain, whoever, if in the case of Harley and the Joker, if we're going to say the Joker is the villain, right? The villain is only good if the antagonist or the protagonist,
I agree,
is that good, right? So Superman can't be tested as a hero if his villains aren't up to par, right? That's why Lex Luthor is his arch villain, and Lex Luthor is nothing like Superman. Superman is super powerful, super strong, right? He doesn't really think about situations, whereas Lex is calculating. Batman is all about control, organization. The Joker's about chaos, turning the world upside down. So I like what you said, but it makes perfect sense in the context of that world, if we're going to say it like that.
Well, I'll finish up the segment and give my favorite scene before we get into our least favorite. It would be probably, I did enjoy the fight that everybody else seemed to enjoy when we were first introduced to the monsters, and Deadshot is doing his thing. That was a good scene. And also the escape scene on the roof where the helicopter comes, Joker comes to like rescue Harley, and that how that was done. That was probably my favorite scene of the movie. And yeah, those two. That's about it.
All right. That was the best of scenes. Let's go ahead to the worst of scenes. And with the worst of scenes, I'm actually going to talk about I'm gonna have a quote. I'm gonna have a quote that's gonna describe the scene for me, okay? You ready? This is Katana. She's got my back. She can cut all of you in half in one sword stroke, just like mowing the lawn. I will advise not getting killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims. Man, doesn't that excite you like you want to see that? I didn't see it.
And we never saw it.
We never saw it. That's true.
Let me tell you something. Katana seemed like she was going to be such a cool person, and then she turned into this. So I got to say that wasn't happy about that. Was not happy about that.
It was like chock full of exposition, but we never got to see any fulfillment.
It's crazy because Harley was the one who ended up using the thing later on. Face for her. Yeah. Too bad, Katana. Yeah, you're the white lady.
Yeah, I think and the other person like this, I forgot the character's name, but he appeared out of nowhere like a red shirt in Star Trek, and he died just as quick like a red shirt.
Slipknot.
We did not need to know. We did not need to know his name because it slipped our minds just as fast is they had to show somebody dying from the collar just so that they did business, and that's all his character was. So that wasn't exactly a good scene for me either. But that's besides that. That's what
it was sloppy. It's like they didn't even give him the introduction. Really, like everybody else got their little introduction. So as soon as you saw him, you knew he was going to die because they didn't even bother giving him a proper introduction. It was a waste.
I wonder really if that was the point of his character. Like, because in the cartoon movies, we always see somebody who tests the collar. There's always somebody who tests it. And it's for the audience to know that she's telling the truth. So in the movie version, I kind of accepted it. But you're right. He shows up for like 10 minutes of screen time. He has 2 lines. Hopefully he got it right the first time. And then he, shoots his grappling gun. And not even quickly. It's not. Why is he there? Is he going to build? Is he going to climb the building? I don't understand. But and his head gets blown off.
I'm unfamiliar with him as a superhero. I don't know what he does.
You don't need to be. You don't need to be.
But yeah, I think
I'll tell you what he does. I'll tell you what he does. He dies. That's his character.
Exactly. They should have at least give him an introduction, so it's more of a shock that he's gone, or you kind of feel like at least some kind of attachment to this character, even if it's like a brief attachment. But it's just this random guy comes up, gets out the van, tries to get away, head's blown off. It's like they could have did it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But
he walked off screen.
That's definitely worse scenes.
James, is on you.
Chrissy, you said your worst scenes though for that one, or I thought that was Chris?
No, I'm going last.
Oh, okay. So I had 2 worst scenes, and one of them I'll talk about in my final thoughts because it pisses me off because I hate when this happens because later on I don't want to find the explanation. It should be in the movie, but I'm gonna say it now and then come back to that later.
I already know where it's going.
That first,
I already know where it's going. Go ahead.
Yeah, that first one is what was the Enchantress doing? What was she building?
Facts.
What was she building?
A machine.
Yeah. No. Now, I'll say I had to look this up because it was annoying me beyond belief because I didn't notice it the first time. I didn't know. I didn't understand subsequent things. Apparently, in the original script, she's supposed to be under the control of the mother boxes. So this was going to be spanning several different movies. A lot of people say that they're not. I don't know. Chris is doing the Shiva dance or something like that.
That was her power. That was her power in the movie. She
I mean, she looked great.
No, this was her power. Just looking creepy in the camera. That's all she does.
That and making out with all her minions.
But, so apparently, she was supposed to be under the influence of the mother box, akin to. Well, I won't give that spoiler, but and it just like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor was under the control of the mother boxes to a certain extent. We saw that in the extended cut of BVS, right? When he's talking to not Darkseid, when he's talking to Steppenwolf at the end of that movie. So it was to show that other people have been under the influence and they're trying to do something. And she was supposed to be building a boom tube. Now we later see boom tubes in Justice League, but it was supposed to be, when you saw it and you saw the mother boxes, shoot, Darkseid has been working this behind the scenes. They showed that in BVS. Darkseid has been working behind the scenes. But then in Justice League, because they cut him out of both movies, you're just like, so this just happened all of a sudden? He knew where everything was? How did that happen? Because it was under the movies that WB, for whatever reason, they cut it out. But now they release on HBO Max later in the year, whatever. So I was pissed about that because it made absolutely no sense to me. And I hate when somebody who doesn't make the movie comes in and chops it up. The second one was I couldn't get over the Crocs. Yeah, I couldn't get over the Crocs black scent. I didn't know if he should put on blackface over top of the scales. Yeah, I said it. I don't know if he should put on blackface over top of the scales because it didn't sound like it didn't sound like that's how he spoke normally. It sounded like he was putting on an affectation, as opposed to if you look at Chato Santana, who was El Diablo, right? It sounded like that was how he spoke in California, in LA, if he's supposed to be from LA. It didn't sound like he was putting on any affectation. But when you hear the Croc say, shorty, I said, I don't use the word, but I said, man, he's going for King N-word. What kind of world star nonsense is this? I didn't get it. I've never known the Croc to speak with a black accent. Where are we going here? It was almost as bad as me paying for a movie, let's call it Transformers 2, and then they were Transformer aliens who had gold capped teeth, and were speaking in black accent. And I sat to myself and I said, no, who's the real N-word? Because I paid for this movie and they're making fun of me. Will I go pay for another one? No, I won't. And I didn't. So let's just call that for an example. I don't know if it happened.
For the record, Transformers 2 was the best one of the series.
No, I didn't like the N-words in Transformers 2. I don't.
Was it Transformers 2? I thought it was Transformers 3 that did that. All that.
Whichever one they were climbing the pyramid.
It's Transformers 2.
That's suddenly now, because the pyramids aren't in Africa, they're in the Middle East, right? And Middle Eastern people made it, not African people. But anyway, let me get off of my digression. I didn't like the crocodile's N-word accent. Where are we going, Croc? That's never been the case.
Yeah, and the guy who plays him, yeah, he definitely put that on because he does not have that accent naturally, like whatsoever. The actor. No, I've seen him in Oz. I've seen him in Lost. And when he's speaking English, it's never with a black accent. Now, just because for those who watch it and say, "Oh, he's a black man," yeah, black people don't sound like that. That's what you get when you pay for them to act like a fool on Growing Up Hip Hop or what's the one where they had black women act stupid? Loving Hip Hop. And they're grabbing action, and all of that. Not, we don't talk like that. That's not a thing.
I kind of liked it. Vic, it's your turn.
Chris.
He was definitely down on the buy, like the plantation.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, honestly, when it came to that, the one thing that I noticed that I felt weird about that was like Will Smith wasn't acting like that at all.
Yeah, thank you.
You could see that there was a little bit of hood in him, but he wasn't acting like that at all. But Croc,
it's as if a normal person would talk.
Was just Croc was just acting straight hood. Like, but one thing about him though is just that, like he said, he was like, he was talking to Harley, and he was just like, at least I see that. At least I know it's a sewer. You know what I mean? So I think that they're trying to brand him with a certain perspective. But one thing that I found very strange. One thing I found very strange though was that like they asked for anything that they wanted, and he asked for BET. And then the last thing in the movie that you see is him just sitting down watching BET.
It's Bridesmaids all over again.
Like, what is? Excuse me. And I'm just like, what was the point of that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's sitting there watching BET. But honestly, like, that really wasn't the worst part for me, because it's a little strange, because personally, like, all right, when I saw Harley Quinn and she was doing all this awesome stuff, it was a good scene for me, but it was kind of the worst scene of the movie, because right then and there, that's when I said to myself, like, oh, all right, I see what they're saying. Bridesmaid, the Birds of Prey was trash. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what they mean. Like, so like that was my worst scene, because then I was just like, oh, all right, I shouldn't have watched that movie first. But wait, don't we have to do it again now though? Like, since
no. Go back and watch that, people. Go back.
Isn't that part of the series now? Because I feel bad, because I really enjoyed that movie. You know what I mean?
Well, you didn't know any better. You didn't know
hindsight.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I guess it was blissful ignorance.
There's nothing wrong with that. I still enjoyed the movie. Thank you very much, Chrissy. Your worst scene.
All right, worst scene. Here we go. So, worst scene in the movie. There were a lot of them, so I'm just going to narrow it down to one.
Chris,
I don't know about this DC guys. I'm trying to keep an open mind, but so far they've been coming up with a lot of L's. But
Chrissy's been in Amazon for 2 movies, and she's talking about DC already. Here we go.
I've seen them all.
There's a lot of hate in that stuff.
I've seen them in the voice of the Croc.
Yo, she said the Saint. Saint. Oh man.
In my Killer Croc voice.
She said that. Yo, I never thought that Saint went outside of New York. That's crazy.
But
wow.
My least favorite scene was probably any scene with the Enchantress in it. Like, that actress, I'm not sure what it is about her, but she doesn't she doesn't like hit it, and I want to like her, but she's not a great actress, and she keeps getting roles. Or at least she was back at that time. So I'm glad that that seemed to have trickled down a little bit.
Wow. Wow.
Well,
she doesn't like other women getting jobs in Hollywood. Chrissy, what's going on?
Let the women who are capable get those jobs. Let these women who can really act get those jobs.
From Coming to America?
Women hate women.
I do not hate women. I do not hate women. Women do not hate women. But she is not a good actress. And she's taking roles in like big Hollywood movies from actresses who could do that role and do it justice, even though the movie wasn't,
I wonder who her recast is going to be.
Look, don't be too quick to talk. You never know.
All right.
I'll tell you one thing: when women don't like each other, they're terrible to each other.
Why is it a women thing? Because I point out a fact that this actress is not a good actress. And you know what? Just to be fair, I'll go ahead and say it. Will Smith is not that great of an actor.
No,
he's not.
What?
And he is not. Somewhere along the line, he fooled us into thinking that he is a fantastic actor.
You can't see it, but Chrissy has taken out Hennessy.
No,
she's not.
He's great at playing himself.
Actually, no.
Great at playing himself. He plays the same character. You can take Deadshot and you can mix him with what's his name from iRobot. They'd be the same damn character. He plays the same character.
She's rolling up something with the Hennessy. That
I don't know. Look, you're not going to sit here and gaslight me into thinking that Will Smith is a great actor.
You don't. Are you serious though?
No, I mean it depends. I feel like it depends on the film because, like,
he
for
plays
example,
himself.
In The Pursuit of Happiness,
with a couple exceptions, yes, with a few exceptions.
You know what I mean? Like Ali was awesome.
Thank you.
With like I said, with a few exceptions.
But there's a lot of movies that, like, he's just the same. Yeah, I see.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
All right.
I mean, but he's done a lot of shit. But then at the same time, like,
Will Smith is a loyal viewer, and I won't let you disparage it. Will, I'm sorry.
Friend of the show.
For the show, and y'all are disrespectful as hell. This is what I'm gonna say.
I love him. He's a great guy.
You love him because Will is.
I mean, no. Listen, man. When he was look, he has an iconic moment where his father walked out on him.
Mm-hmm.
That gets pushed all over the internet. All
beautifully done scene, yeah.
And things like with Uncle Phil when he goes to the pool hall and all of that, like, you know what I mean. He like, Will Smith is a black leader,
but that character was again based on.
So
Will
like
Smith.
but the reality of the situation is that not every movie hits. Not every movie. Nobody's gonna ever compare him to Denzel when it comes to acting skills. You know what I mean? So
why should they have to compare them?
We don't have to compare them, but we could say one is a good actor and one is a mediocre.
I mean, like, look, Denzel got more good movies than he does bad movies.
Can I say something real quick?
No,
I really believe Denzel Washington plays the same character in almost every movie he plays in as well.
Wow. But not Will Smith?
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with your statement. I can see why you would say that. But I still think that Will Smith is a phenomenal actor. Do I think these people are Morgan Freeman stature? No.
So you can say that about Denzel Washington.
I mean,
but
wait,
don't pick a side on Will Smith.
Okay. If you talk about the movies that he's making now, then yeah, because Robert De Niro does the same thing. Every movie that Robert De Niro makes now is the same thing.
And Will Smith's prime,
the old guy imposing his
character
idea.
from Men in Black and the character from Independence Day is practically the same thing. So I have to say that Chrissy makes a little bit of sense, even though I disagree.
How are they the same character?
Are you kidding
me? One is in the military, right? And one is a cop, is a beat cop. He's a detective on the street.
I mean, no, but you know what though?
Listen, the disrespect has to stop.
And even look, Wild Wild West, same character.
Oh no! But
same character. He made
Black. You know what was ill though?
We are saying truth. We're not lying anymore.
And I'm strolling into the Wild
lies
Wild West.
have got to stop.
That movie.
Will Smith is not a great actor. He's a good actor. He's good at playing himself.
You know what? I would appreciate it if he still made music.
Chrissy has
if he made like a music video. If he made music videos like a Deadshot music video, that would be hot. Because
Y'all are talking crazy.
Wild Wild West. Listen, man.
Also,
Wild Wild West was a fly ass song. Wild Wild West was a good song. Men in Black and the Men in Black 2 was a good song. What are you talking about? Oh,
ladies and gentlemen.
What else? What else was he the same character that we can give him a good song?
It was the best of season. It was the worst of season. We're going to be right back after this commercial break. Find out what we're going to talk about next. This coming Thursday. Thanks for the call, Vic. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Stay tuned with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Romeo is ready.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Claire Danes in William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another portion of Unpopular Reviews Entertainment, talking about Suicide Squad, not Hancock, not Independence Day,
Are you sure?
not Transformers 2, not Ali.
In this dress, get out of that dress.
Oh my God!
Rest.
Like I said, I don't even want to take the banner down because I feel like we're not talking about Suicide Squad. I got
hit me at with Artemis from the start of this front of the game. James West, Wayne West. Remember the name, guys. You want to call this GB? Not who you want.
And Suicide Squad, who played Deadshot. If you're listening tonight, if you're still listening, Will, I was not disrespectful to you. Kristen was, don't follow her, okay?
Will Smith is currently sitting at a red table.
Man, that's just if I was in the club listening to that, I'd be chilling.
Not too much now.
Mattoon, that's not
right. Because that's from a long time ago.
So we're gonna do that one coming up next.
I don't understand why we even talk about something other than Suicide Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to quotables.
Because Will Smith is in the movie. Hello.
So is Viola Davis, who's a phenomenal actress who does not play the game.
We're gonna get to her. We got to talk about Annalise Keating.
Let's go ahead and go to quotables, and who wants to start it off? Okay, I'll start it off right here. This I actually have quite a few ones. I think I might have more in this one than any other movie. I'm going to quote them for you right now.
This is a quote movie.
Here you go. This is Katana. She's got my back. She can cut all of you in half with one sword stroke, just like mowing the lawn. I would advise not getting killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims. What a powerful quotable in that particular one. All right, so okay, thank you.
Of course.
All right, what else we got here? There's a lot. Okay. Nope, not that. Nope, not that.
There's a lot, huh?
I had them all written down. Don't be smart. I had them all written down, and they're just like jumbled all over the place. I'll go after somebody else goes. Go ahead, James.
Okay. So I have a few of them. I wrote them down too. And like Chris, I just have to say this. I have to admit it that I like quotes that are true to life. He likes to use quotes. He likes quotes that he can use in real life. I like quotes that are true to real life. Okay. So the first one that I'm going to do is this, because getting people to act against their own self-interest for the national security of the United States is what I do for a living. Now, I'll say that again, because getting people to act against their own self-interest for the national security of the United States is what I do for a living. That is so prescient, okay? There are a lot of people who do things. You asked for the quotes, Chris, here it goes. There are a lot of people who do things in this country, in other countries too, but I'm here, right? That go against their own self-interest. And it's not that they just do it.
Let me sip my tea.
Okay? There are people behind it. And I love that she said that, because she's the person, she's the puppet master. They say that throughout this movie. She's the puppet master. I love that quote. Also, this other one. The world changed when Superman flew across the sky, and then it changed again when he didn't. And again, we spoke about how, not cavalier, but how deadpan almost Amanda Waller is when she says these things. She absolutely means it. The world changed when he flew across the sky, and it changed again when he didn't. And then she's looking at the guy who's selling the, you know, memorabilia of Remember Superman, and she just smiles at him like she's so happy, because for her it's an opportunity. It was an opportunity when he showed up. I can get this Task Force X who will be loyal to me. When he died, I can get this Task Force X who will be loyal to me. And it goes in with the first quote, which I love that. Here's a Harley quote. I'm bored. I need a mind to pull apart and spit in. We were talking about breaking down people psychologically. I love that she had agency in this movie. Another Amanda Waller, who I'm going to call Thanos for right now. I have the witness part, and Dr. Moon has his. And now he'll follow my orders as Holy Writ. You know, people often wonder, how do you control a man's heart? You know, is it through the stomach or whatever like that? Is it through sleeping with him, whatever like that? You get a man's heart, he's going to be more loyal than a dog to you, okay? So what she said right there, she said, I paired the two of them up. They got close together, as I hoped they would. And so I now control the witch's heart. Dr. Moon has his. So I control the witch. She controls him. I got everybody in line. And she's still the puppet master, even though people were stepping and rolling their eyes at what I said before. But that's what people do. That's the real world. And then Rick Flag, I'll give a Rick Flag quote. I'm not judging. I buried a lot of mistakes too. That is also something that somebody would say in the real world. And I like that, because this is after Amanda Waller just lit up her whole team, except for the person who went to the bathroom right before the Suicide Squad arrived. And shout out to them for staying hidden. But just wiped out her entire staff. And then Deadshot, who's the assassin, says, that was cold. That was gangster. And he didn't say it like the Croc would, but he said that was cold. And Rick Flag looked at Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller was looking at him like, you going to say something too? And he said, no, I'm not judging you. I buried a lot of mistakes too, meaning he's done the same thing. And this movie starts out with Rick Flag being very self-righteous and thinking that he's better than somebody because he doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know the people on the team at all. And he grows a grudging respect and then a respect. I don't think that he gets to the point of apologizing, but he grows to actually like them and care about them as you would expect his own team, the ones that he brought in there himself. So I like that he said that. I've done the same thing. I've killed my own people. And he's supposed to be the good guy. So I love movies, of course, that always have gray in it. And that's why I chose the post that I did.
All right. I have another quote for you. This is no. All right, so this is the Joker one. Got it. I'm not someone who is loved. I'm an idea, a state of mind. I execute my will according to my plan, and you, Doctor, are not part of my plan. Now, as I say every single week, I do a quotable. I revert all these quotes to something that I say and do in my everyday life. So if you truly know me, you know that actually revolves around me. And that's just how I speak. Another one that I have here is Amanda Waller. She says, but everyone has a weakness, and a weakness can be leveraged. See previous quote on that. This one's done by Deadshot / Agent Agent J off of Men in Black. And anyway,
you want to say it, you want to agree, but you're
talking about other movies, but I can't give quotes from this one without people rolling their eyes. Just for those who are paying attention.
Here you go. Deadshot says, and if she can't cut it and her grades start slipping, I need you to white people that thing. I love that. I'm sorry, I busted out loud when he said that.
Yo, for real, that was.
And didn't this come out before the whole Aunt Jessie or whatever her name is from Full House?
Yeah, that's been going on for years.
No, but as far as this happened, this movie came out before that came out.
No, I love how she called her Aunt Jessie.
No, I mean the act of them getting their children into these fancy colleges by bribery. That's been going on for years. But
yes, that has been going on for years, but it hasn't been like in the media really until that case came out. And I was wondering, I think this movie came out before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's doing 3 months and got to pay a fine.
Aunt Becky, yeah. Uncle Jesse, Aunt Becky.
Hey, what happened to that man who was selling loose cigarettes on the street? What happened to him?
Facts. He got choked out and died.
But I don't want to lose any viewers.
All right. So
I mean, don't get me
Continue
started.
on.
That was here.
continue on.
That was here. And everybody starts talking about how we took $1 billion.
I'm actually into you. Okay, so continue with Deadshot. He says, you know, right? Okay, now that's my price, but I'm concerned because I don't see nobody riding crap down. Rick Flag says you're in no position to make demands, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, you thought I was talking to you. No, Aaron boy, I'm talking to your boss. That's my price, sweetie. You know what it is." Actually had something else, but ooh, I love this one. All right, Rick Flair says, "I'll accept the consequence." Amanda Waller says, "I am your consequence."
Yeah,
I love it. Oh man, that is good. And I'll just go over to what I said was going to be it, and that is. Oh, you're a hitman, right? I got a contract killed. Oh, yeah, I like that. She's just so cold. She's just. Anyway, there's the difference between us. You believe in friendship. I believe in leverage. God, this woman. I mean, come on. Like, she's like the most underrated woman when it comes to quotes in movies. I think. Like, her number of quotes almost rivals Thanos. Anyway,
that's why I call her Amanda the Titan Waller.
You can call her that. Yeah. But of course, my favorite quote, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be, of course, Joker walks in the room. He goes, blah, 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 blah. All that chit chat's going to get you hurt. Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it. Every time I enter a room, I tell that to one of my employees. All right, Mark, it is on you.
Okay. Well, you already said one of my quotes. So.
Which one of Amanda Waller's quotes?
Nah, it was actually Joker's quote. Someone who's loved, I'm an idea, a state of mind. Yeah, that really resonated with me. Joker had a lot, actually. And another one that I really liked was desire becomes surrender, surrender becomes power. That's very real. That's very, very real. So like that I really resonated with. Amanda Keaton.
Amanda who?
Michael Keaton's wife, Amanda.
Amanda Keaton. Annalise Waller. Everyone has a weakness, and a weakness can be leveraged. Like that was cool.
Notice how psychological a lot of these quotes in this movie are. Very psychological.
Facts. You know what? It's very Gotham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very Gotham. Like,
the show?
Very dark. No, just the whole movie.
Oh, okay.
Gotham. It's definitely in Gotham. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's not.
You saw the bat. You saw. Well, what are you talking about? Batman was there and all of that.
Those are flashbacks. The movie takes place in what would be Detroit, essentially. Mm-hmm. Midway City. But I understand what you mean. It's very like Gotham is very the psychological.
Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah. It's very like dark. Place. It's very. That's why I thought it was in Gotham. Okay. Anyway. Lastly, you don't kill as many people as I've killed and still sleep like a kitten. If you feel shit like love. That resonated with me because that's his mask. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he feels love. He's freaking worried about his daughter and all that. You know what I mean? So, and obviously, he still loves his ex-wife for some reason. But this is the mask that he puts up for people. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, you don't. Come on now, and mind you, like when the witch just put his biggest fear or tried to like get him psychologically, she put his daughter right in front of him so she wouldn't shoot. Mm-hmm. And she was ill as an evil villain for being able to do stuff like that out of the dumb. But yeah, that's it. I'm done.
All right, let's go on to see the Superior with your quotable.
All right, guys. So I'll go ahead and say the one that I got.
One.
So I got two. I did a little extra for you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
All right. So the first one is going to be this. It was in the scene where, what's his name from Hannah, the actor, Jamie something or other. He plays the sergeant in this movie. He's holding up the tablet right before he holds it up. He says, "Behold the voice of God." And it's Amanda Waller about to tell them like what's going on with the mission. I thought that was cool. And the other quote is from Deadshot when he's saying in the was it airplane, whatever the heck they were in. He said, "I'm a hitman, not a fireman. I don't save people." I said, that's cool. I like that quote. So I wrote it down.
That reminds me of another quote, and it was along those same lines and scenes when Amanda Waller did the talking, and then after he was like, "Was that supposed to be some kind of pep talk or pep speech or something like that?" That was funny to me because Amanda Waller was not giving a pep speech. She's like, "Look, this is the deal. Y'all need to get the job done. That's what I'm paying you to buy your life for." All right, that was.
Can I give a Will Smith quote from this movie?
What? Here come the Men in Black.
All right.
From this movie,
this one just made me laugh so much when when they're getting those bombs injected into their necks, and he says, "Yo, lady, don't do that. What's that? What do you have right there?" And she's just ignoring him, and he goes, "Oh, you deaf? You one of them deaf hoes." It just made me laugh. You know what I mean? I don't know if Desha would say it, but it's something like you. I know you hear me.
You know who would say it?
You know, and you just gonna ignore me. And he probably would have cursed it out, but because she's shooting something in his neck, he had to just give a level of anger, and it was so true to life. He said, "Oh, you a deaf hoe," like, okay, you'll hear when you want to hear. It just cracked me up.
Yeah, I completely understand and agree, and that was funny, and I forgot about that. Thank you so much for that. We're going to leave quotables, and we're going to go over to everybody's favorite segment. Oh, we're over time again. But anyway, let's go ahead to the recasting segment, and we're going to start off with Mr. Wayne. If you want to start off with your recasting this week.
All right, so I don't always like to recast. I have to. Because I played my part. I do this, okay? The first one, and these are going to be curveballs because nobody's thinking about these characters. Why? There's a reason. All right, the first one I'm going to recast is the Enchantress's brother, who I don't know if they said his name. Maybe she said it with her thick accent from another dimension that I couldn't understand, but it was this guy. It's a white silhouette covered in a black square because it was a random black man whose body, I presume, this white spirit. Now, why is it a white spirit? Because the Enchantress was still white, even though Dr. Moon was white. So, but when the black guy transformed, he looked different. He was like Goldar, as Chrissy would say. So, this silhouette as the Enchantress's brother, who siphoned some of his powers off to his sister so that she could survive after getting shanked in the heart by Amanda Waller, who didn't hesitate. She stabbed that mummy heart up. She was like, "Ugh, give me some of your power, brother." And he came through. He was like, "I got you, sis. I got you." The second one, this is the big curveball because people brought this character up, but nobody thought about recasting him, and I did. I said, the sequence with when you see Deadshot with his daughter, and I said, I've seen somebody. This is who could play this person. They're a big fan of Will Smith, by the way, and this person right here.
Wow.
Like, you know them from playing Vixen. On their
wonderful actress.
Fan series, the Vixen in the Dark Justice League. But,
no, you did not do that. That is hilarious. You insane. You funny, bro.
And so those are my two recasts, and I just wanted to share that.
Wonderful actress, very underrated. Two thumbs up.
YouTube.
She's not winning any awards anytime soon. Okay, Mark, it's your turn.
Okay, so my first recast is Amanda Waller because
what?
I know he's gonna go. If you go for the same one that I thought,
I want to change her with Annalise Keating.
You
know why? Because listen, they're literally the same people.
Mm-hmm.
Swear to God, they are the same people. If you watch How to Get Away with Murder,
I'll give you that.
But I personally would love, like, if it was the character of Annalise Keating in this movie, and as Annalise Keating doing all of this stuff with her history, with everything, oh man, it'd be amazing. But yeah, just look at her here. Look how much of a badass she is here. Just that look alone, like, this woman just has this ability to just like, wow, man. I'm telling you, like, just to be smart and to be kick-ass and to just do all of this
wonderful actress
cold stuff. Yeah, like, she's just incredible. Like, I gotta give it to her. So like, if it was just her as Annalise Keating, I think it would be amazing. The other one, this would probably be a little controversial, but Deadshot.
Oh, Deadshot.
Yeah.
Well,
I put Wesley as Deadshot. I just feel like that. I don't know, man. I just feel like it needs more of a serious person. I don't know, man. I feel like Blade, him and Blade would be perfect for that role. You know,
now they have Idris Elba going to be playing in the second one, so I wonder how.
Oh wait, they're not continuing with.
No, he's a different character.
Oh, I heard that he was casted as Deadshot.
Okay, hey, better.
So who's Deadshot? They just took him out.
Deadshot. The Suicide Squad has a lot of different people.
It does.
In it, so it's not always the same roster of people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Will Smith, aka Will Smith, didn't want to come back.
Pretty much.
But I think they gave because it's the same what is it, James Gunn, who did Guardians of the Galaxy. So WB gave him a lot of leeway. So he wrote the script and he's directing it. So he was able to put whatever characters he wanted from the canon, the DC canon, in that he put. So he got those characters that he wanted to use and everything like that in it. What I'm curious to see, though, if we're talking about that one, to digress a little bit, is to see how they portray Harley Quinn, if it's closer to Birds of Prey or if it's closer to this iteration in Suicide Squad that we see. But Idris Elba, I have to get the name of that character, but it's not Deadshot. I thought it was as well.
Okay.
See, now, what I don't understand is if they're going to make a sequel, why make it with a whole bunch of different people? Like, I understand the whole thing behind the Suicide Squad. Like, there's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And why introduce us to these characters and then leave it open-ended like that?
Because DC is throwing it all against the wall. They're trying to see whatever sticks.
That's what the Suicide Squad is.
Try whatever.
Mm.
That's the real reason.
It's never like the Justice League is always traditionally the 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in Suicide Squad, you always have a changing roster. There are like 1 or 2 that remain. Like Harley Quinn is typically always in it. You're always going to have Amanda Waller. You're always going to have Rick Flag, Captain Boomerang. But you might have, like in this one, you're going to have, I don't know if King Shark is in this one, but you might have the Croc, Killer Croc, or you have, somebody else. But it can vary that way. But you have certain staple ones. Everybody else is a changing roster.
See, so then what? I guess we'll get into that in the final.
I completely agree with that comment.
We got 2 haters on the show. Mattoon, who's guest starring with us.
So back to recast though. Mark, was that your final recast?
Let me clarify.
Yeah, that was it.
Idris Elba is playing Bloodsport. Playing Bloodsport.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I have no idea who that is, but good for him. I guess we'll see what happens. So I'll go ahead and do my recasting. So it looks like I too have decided to recast Miss Waller herself. She did a great job, wonderful actress. But I also feel that this actress could do just as great in this role. And she's been in a couple things. Kathy Bates.
No, you can't do
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. If you watch American Horror Story, she can definitely pull off this role easily. Easily.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Isn't she the lady that
to be a strong black woman? That's the point of the character. So to change her to a white woman would destroy the character.
Well,
that's why
I haven't read the comics.
I like Kathy Bates. I don't disagree with that. But changing her to a white woman would destroy the character.
Well, again, I haven't read the comics, so I'm not sure if that's how she was presented in those comics. But as far as the movie goes, without any background knowledge of the character, which I do not have, I would say that she would carry this role really well, and that would be my first recasting.
I would put her as Granny Goodness.
What'd she say?
I'll put her as Granny Goodness, but that's my
Granny Goodness would be great for her.
Well, I do not know who that is, so she will remain as Amanda Waller.
Fair enough. It's your recasting. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, my other recasting is Mr. Wayne's BFF, Killer Croc.
Who did you pick? Al Jolson? Who did you pick for the recasting for Killer Croc?
Look, I had to pick this person for recasting because honestly, and I swear to God, I am not even lying. I completely forgot about this character was in the. I didn't even know. I forgot he was in the movie. Mm-hmm. I remembered Harley Quinn. I remember Deadshot, Joker, but when I saw this man, I said, "Who the hell is this guy? Was he in here before?" Mm-hmm. So, I recasted
That's crazy.
him.
He got a hoodie. He had a hoodie with leather jacket on.
Is our good friend, Mr. Anybody. Anybody.
And that's true. Anybody could have played that.
Because he was completely forgettable, other than like the undertones of racism. Completely forgettable, because I completely forgot about him. So yeah, my recast it. Boom.
Let me start off my recast.
You know, Debo should have played him. Huh?
Let me start off by saying that I am totally disappointed in some of your recasteds. I just feel like they were out of place, and just should have been thought out a little bit better.
Who you got over here? Pay attention, audience. Let's see who these marvelous recasted options he's about.
I have some great recasted. So the first one I want to recast is none other than Rick Flag. The guy who I forget his name, Joel
Kinnaman.
Thank you. The guy who butchered RoboCop. He was fine.
Not him.
No, it was him. He won a lot of FaceTime. He was fine in the role. He was fine. The Crow and Rick Flag. The guy that said
was the sergeant.
Oh, okay, him. Yes.
Yeah,
from Hannah.
You want to talk about generic? It was him, right? I feel like almost anybody could have, of that.
He's a very good looking man.
Here we go, Chrissy.
All right. Well, anyway, this is my replacement for him. That is a man that you really can't see. His name would be John Cena. I think John Cena will actually play, and ironically, he's in the next.
He's in the next Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm. But I think John Cena would have played a very good Rick Flag in this movie. The other person, this is going to be ironic, that I think should be replaced is actually a villain that's actually really big for the Flash, and that is Captain Boomerang. You would think that he is not somebody that will be a threat, but he's actually one of the Flash's biggest threats. And Flash has the most underrated rogues gallery, I think, in comic books. Anyway, that being said, the person I would have replaced Captain Boomerang with is this also fellow wrestler, and that is Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior.
You know what? The guy, I felt like I was listening to Sheamus. When the movie, I was looking for Sheamus. I felt like I was watching Ninja Turtles too. That's crazy.
He was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. I think he was Bebop. So yeah, if you saw that movie, not the one in the 90s, not the one in the 90s, one came out 4 years ago. And he was playing that character. But But anyway, what's up, Charmaine?
Are these the recasted that were supposed to be better than ours?
Get out of here, Chris Hera. John Cena won't fit. Okay, man, John Cena would fit. No, hell no, and the jar of mayo shade. Hey, we don't promote racism. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that is recasted. Yes,
but Sheamus is pale though. Like Sheamus really needs some time.
He's talking about calling him a jar of mayo.
Like he really is pale though. Like I don't know what it is about like Sheamus and Paige, but I don't know what's going on there. Like they seriously like this color. Like what the hell?
Well, back to the movie. What's
Ladies
his name? Who played? Go ahead. Go to commercial.
No, go ahead. Hurry up. Come on.
The guy who played Boomerang for a long time, I could have swore that was Tom Hardy because they look just alike. I swore that was him.
Chrissy has never seen Tom Hardy.
I've seen Tom Hardy. I love Tom Hardy.
And
ladies and gentlemen, I made a mistake. I should have left this up. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll
look at him in that picture. Looking just like Tom Hardy.
Find out what we're going to talk about next Tuesday right here on Unpopular Review. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen.
What is your mission?
To stop the war.
Darn, messed that up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to back to Unpopular Reviews, Entertainment Edition, talking about Suicide Squad. Truth be told, all I saw was 21 Bridges, and I thought it was a trailer, and I just want to hear the song again. So I was going to play it, but it was the wrong one, so it didn't work out very well in my favor. But let's see, Ricky J. Pate and Nickelodeon, Wonder Woman is a good movie. Miz isn't big enough to make it name in Hollywood. And yeah, he's only good enough to make WWE movies. Cena is a great actor. What about The Miz? And I can't see that pic talking about John Cena's picture. Ladies and gentlemen, Unpopular Reviews. Talking about Suicide Squad, as I said earlier. He's not bad. He can play Rick Flag. Anyway, right here, Mr. Wayne, the Mark.
He could play Rick Flag.
The Mark Noisy Rodriguez. I mean, even just sitting up in his chair. See, like seriously, you were just moving in your chair, and like I heard everything. Everything.
How is that possible? Like, damn.
I don't know. I meant to tell you, you took a drink of something earlier, and I actually heard the liquid in the cup poured down. I kid you not, bro. You have the most sensitive microphone in the world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to our final thoughts. This is rivaling.
The liquid in the cup.
Under this new format, this is rivaling the longest ones we've ever done, and I'm surprised it happened on this movie. But we're going to final thoughts. We're going to start off with none other than Mr. Wayne. Final thoughts.
All right, you can put it on all four. It doesn't have to be about me.
I need to stop doing that because he always says that.
Yeah, he never listens to me. Anyway, so I always say I love movies. Why? Because they take you to somewhere you've never been. They expose you to different things that you might not have considered or you might never get a chance to see, right? You like sci-fi movies because they take you to new worlds. They open your mind to, new technologies possibly or whatever like that. And TV, media, movies have been doing that for years, good or bad. This movie is a comic book movie, yes, but as we've been saying, it has a lot of great quotes in it, and the quotes are psychological, they're political, they're challenging. The dialogue in it, somebody who I think is underrated is El Diablo's character, in that he's very much in the background. He's not a foreground character. But when he's talking about his philosophy, when he's saying what he's been through, for those who have experienced something similar or something of the sort, he's speaking a lot of truth. Harley Quinn, what she's saying when she's called down on her, why she does the things that she does, she's speaking out a lot of truth for those who are in, I don't know what's going on right now, maybe it should just be one screen, but she's speaking a lot of truth for those who have been in abusive relationships. And I think that's important. Most comic book movies don't get to that point where they talk about abuse. They don't get to the point where they talk about someone who, and El Diablo, as I just mentioned him, El Diablo's character, where his anger and his rage was his identity to the point where it cost him everything that he loved. And it was only after he was incarcerated that he realized he lost everything that really mattered to him. Deadshot, who in the comics, he boasts all the time that he never misses a shot. But in this movie, all he cared about was his daughter, who his skills wouldn't allow him to see. I think this movie has a lot to offer. It's not a perfect movie in that, as I said earlier, WB came in and they chopped a lot of things up, so a lot of things don't make sense, and the story really isn't fluid and coherent. But what we do see on the screen is good enough for it to be a decent movie and something that people should consider, I think, in my opinion. Some of the quotes that I picked because, again, you should always, whatever you do in life, I think, even if you're going to see a movie, if you don't walk out some benefited or somewhat the better, then you've wasted your time. And for that reason, I think this movie does do the job, which is more than a lot of movies do. A lot just waste your time. I mentioned this one person. I'll just show this picture right now. What do we get from that movie? That's from Transformers 2. Right? That's why I didn't like the Croc's performance, because again, people will watch that and they will recognize the closest thing they have to that. That's that Love and Hip Hop. That's that Growing Up Hip Hop or whatever those shows are. That's their only interaction with people who look like me. So yes, people laugh, but it's important to me what they see on the big screen because it does influence them and it can have negative consequences. If somebody came up to me and they started talking like that character that I just put on the screen, or like Killer Croc because they think that I do, because this is the first time they met people like me. And I've been in situations where people wanted to run up to me and touch my hair. because they've never met a black person before. So again, I like the discussions that this movie brings. I like the discussions that BVS brought, and I hope that all the movies that we do, we can look at them in a way that they allow us to think deeper than just face value. The next one we're doing is Romeo and Juliet, and again, it's in the modern era. Hopefully, it makes us think. So this is a thumbs up for me.
All right, thumbs up from Mr. Wayne. Ironically, he chose Mr. Wayne, and it's not a Batman movie. Now let's go over to the Mark Victor Rodriguez. Vic, you can unmute yourself and let us know what do you think of this movie.
Sorry. Well, clearly there's going to be a sequel, so I give it a thumbs up.
Mark Victor Rodriguez giving the shortest and most straight to the point.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but so to break it down, one thing that I feel like this movie was a mashup to introduce all of these characters. I don't know. I feel like it was a bad guy Avengers type of thing. Because you're pretty much getting an introduction to Harley, to Bloodshot, to Croc, to El Diablo, and it leaves you just wanting more, at least wanting to learn more about the character. I certainly am interested in seeing other movies, and I'm certainly interested in seeing Amanda more as a character, to tell you the truth. Like I feel like she's gonna be the Nick Fury of the bad guys. Like it's gonna be nice to see, because I clearly she's gonna continue this whole thing. And like, look, at the end, the very, very end, she's sitting there selling information to Batman. Like, yeah, come on. So like she's I feel like she's the Nick Fury of the DC universe right now. So I'm very excited to see what's next. So yeah.
All right, the Mark Victor Rodriguez with his stunning review. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Now we're going to see the Superior.
Hi guys. So this movie had a couple different things that made me think a certain way about it. For one, the premise of the Suicide Squad in the movie was to be like a anti-Superman fighting group. Like if there was ever a Superman level threat, the Suicide Squad was supposed to be able to take him out. And they said this in the scene where Amanda Waller was, I guess, at that boardroom meeting, and she brought out Enchantress for the first time. So it was said in the movie. But there's no one in this group that could take out a Superman level threat. Not even Enchantress, I don't think. And she was probably the most powerful one. I thought, honestly, it just feels like DC has been a little bit all over the place. Like they've been trying to, like I said before, trying to throw anything against the wall, see what sticks. They did Man of Steel, which was really good, serious tone. Then they did BVS. Now they're doing this, trying to like jokey and, laughs. And I didn't enjoy it. There were characters in it that were really good. Yes. So Amanda Waller, awesome. Harley Quinn, she was cool until Birds of Prey. Then we got, other than that, I don't see anyone that I would like take out of this and bring to their own movie. So I'm going to give this the thumbs down it deserves, guys. No surprise here. It's a crap movie. Sorry to say. This is not a good representation of DC so far.
All right, so see the Superior breaking the, we've been doing all thumbs up lately, so thumbs down on this one from See the Superior. Let's go ahead with mine. Am I going to give it a thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Suicide Squad came out in 2016, got a 6.0 out of 10 on IMDb.com. It cost $175 million to make. It's made $746 million worldwide. $325 million came from the United States. So actually made a good portion of money. Now, I got some names I want to throw out there. Sir Patrick Stewart, Sir Ian McKellen, Robert Downey Jr., Viola Davis. These are all people who I now consider the pinnacle of that particular character that they play. Sir Patrick Stewart is Professor Xavier to me. Not saying anything or taking anything away from James McAvoy. I think he did a good job. Same thing goes to Michael Fassbender. I think he did a great job as Magneto. But for me, Professor Xavier and Magneto is Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen. Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. Amanda Waller is Viola Davis. Can't put anybody else as Viola Davis. No Kathy Bates, no character from another show, even though it's the same person playing them. It has to be her playing Amanda Waller. That's what makes it work. She's good at doing that. Great. Now I'm going to talk about something controversial. People talk about the definitive Jokers. I almost put Heath Ledger in there. Heath Ledger has done a phenomenal job. But here's the thing. I truly have never really seen a bad Joker. Jack Nicholson was very, very good back in 1989. Shake your head and all you want. It was before your time. Jack Nicholson was very good as Batman 1989. I'll even go further back. For that time period and for what it was, Cesar Romero was very good as the Joker back in the 60s. She's looking at me as she's showing who the hell is Cesar Romero. He played the Joker back in the 60s. Don't try to finger yourself. Don't do it. All right?
I know who he is.
Cesar Romero, even with his mustache, did a very good job. Jack Nicholson, even though he played a crazy gangster, did a very good job. Heath Ledger, we're not even going to talk about Mark Hamill's cartoon version because, I mean, oh my God. Heath Ledger did a fantastic job as the Joker in 2008. Now, Joaquin Phoenix in 2019, which is a movie we're going to have to review very soon, right? I think somebody mentioned it earlier. Did not like it. Okay? I know I'm in the minority on that one. I do not really give a crap. Was not a fan of that movie. I was not a fan of that Joker. I actually prefer Jared Leto. He played a different type of Joker as compared to the other ones, but he still played a very effective and believable Joker to me, and I think he's very underrated for the amount of crazy that he put into that role. And the amount of fear, believable fear that he put into that role. Like I said, I will always reference that fish thing and fish market, and I don't even have to just reference that particular one. There was a lot of scenes where you could tell he was a big deal. When they broke into that chemical lab or wherever the heck they were, and he walks in, you could tell he's a big deal. You're not going to see him like, who is this clown? You're going to look at him and say, oh, I'm in deep crap. All right? So he makes the movie for me. He wasn't in enough scenes. He makes the movie for me. Amanda Waller makes the this movie for me. Harley Quinn did a good job. Deadshot did a good job. Who sucked? Everybody else. But there was enough good people in this movie to make me to enjoy this movie from beginning to end. You know what that means? It gets a thumbs up for me. Thumbs up for this movie, Suicide Squad. So, us three versus her.
What a surprise. What a surprise. What a surprise. You guys are just letting your DC bias affect your decisions. You know this is not a good movie, James.
No, actually, I've been very fair with Marvel and DC. You have no idea what I'm going to say about upcoming DC movies, but I've always been fair. If they elevate the material, I liked Ant-Man, and nobody liked that hardly. I like Guardians.
What are you talking about? I liked Ant-Man.
I said hardly. I didn't say everybody didn't like it.
Oh.
So I would like some Marvel movies, but again, if like I said, if I'm going to pay money, I always assume that I'm paying money, right? And now tickets are like $12, $13, right? For a regular ticket or whatever, and maybe more depending on where you live. So if I'm going to pay that, I better be the better for the experience, right? And if it's just nothing but spectacle, but the story doesn't make sense, I've wasted my time. So that's the measure that I always hold up. This story was coherent to me, so that's why I got a thumbs up. That's what I said in the final thought. The same thing is true for BVS for me and for Man of Steel. Spoiler alert, wait till we get to Justice League, because if the story is not coherent, then it's going to get a thumbs down. That's how I did with Marvel. That's what I do at DC. So it's all about story. I don't care if the special effects came from 1960. If the story makes sense, that's what I'm here for the story. Everything else is icing.
And Justice League is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Justice League is actually coming up in 2 weeks, and that's going to be our season finale episode as we go into a special month full of Halloween movies for the entire month of October. So stay tuned for Unpopular Review as we talk about the Justice League movie. But next week, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Wonder Woman which is a very vastly popular movie. Spoiler alert, I was not as impressed. So we're going to talk about that coming up.
Chrissy has already seen them.
Oh, you'll be surprised.
Well, again, because you've been hating on a lot of women lately. But anyway, the next episode we're doing
is Romeo and Juliet.
Is Romeo and Juliet. So see what I have to say to that. I might have a little surprise for you all because
I'll give you the spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. The next 3 movies we're going to review is none other than Romeo and Juliet this Thursday. Watch us 9:00 as you are always here, live taping of the podcast. Next Tuesday we're going to review Wonder Woman. Watch us 9:00 next Tuesday. And then, of course, on next Thursday, we're going to review Austin Powers because he's the man for you. Can't wait for that one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us here at Unpopular Reviews. I'm the executive consultant for Mr. Wayne, the Mark, and C, the Superior. We'll see you right back here on Thursday. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.